Hello everyone, welcome back to MG's Reviews channel. Today we're going to have a look at a very special watch. Let's open the box up and see what's inside. Get the white sleeve out, then the intermediate beige cardboard box here from Rolex, get rid of that too. And then as we open it up, we remove the wrapping and open the green box. Inside of that, we will find the brand new Rolex Submariner Date Reference number 126610LN. I'm going to try and review this and compare it to the previous model. Although I don't have one here with me, I have seen plenty of those, wore them, and I can probably give you some hints as to what the differences look and feel like. So here's the watch. You can see the brand new 41mm versus 40mm oyster steel case. We are retaining that beautiful Kerachrome bezel, although in this case there are some subtle differences which we will discuss in a moment. And of course the new caliber 3235 giving you a 70-hour power reserve. Bracelet is very similar to what we had in the past. We still had our folding oyster lock safety clasp here. Our cyclop is still making it easier for us to actually see the date. The 70-hour power reserve should help usability of this watch. You can now put it down in the weekend and pick it up on a Monday and it should still be working. I think you're going to hear me say this a lot. The proportion in this watch are great. I think they did a great job in changing a few things. Nothing revolutionary, of course. Keeping with the original concept, but marginally improving it. And in fact, when you have it on your wrist, when you can see the difference, when you can feel the difference, in fact, because there is also a difference in the way this feels when you wear it, I think all the changes are positive. Except perhaps with the fact that you can't buy one. It's really difficult to get your hands on it. I've been lucky enough to get one from my local AD, but I know that a lot of us are going to have to wait for a while to get your hands on one of those, but hey, I guess that's the nature of the beast nowadays. We're not going to turn this into a Rolex market conversation, right? So let's stick to the watch. Let's see what the watch comes with in the box. As always, you have the usual Submariner Date instruction manual, a little card that tells you what metal this is made of. Of course, this is the oyster steel version. You have your warranty card, which is slightly revised now for the end of 2020. And then the guarantee manual, the warranty manual. Also, when you purchase from a local AD now, you get a little gift from them every time you purchase a watch. We're going to have a look at what's inside at the end. Now, let's focus on the actual watch. Okay, opening up the safety clasp here at the back is the same business as usual. Nice and sturdy. This will not fall off your wrist. All right, and then inside here, you can actually see the glide lock extension system. Now remember, this is a Submariner, so this is meant for divers, 300-meter water resistance. So if you really wanted to, you could certainly and safely go dive with this. And if you want to wear your diving suit as well, you can use the glide lock system to open it up, put it on top of your suit, and then lock it in place. Then when you're done, bring it back to normal and wear the watch. Of course, now technology has provided divers with maybe more enhanced equipment, but this is a very capable diving watch. Let's have a look at what it is like to have on the wrist. Again, what stands out to me is proportions. What they did with the size in combination with the change to the lugs, where they taper them a little bit on one side and make them chunkier on the other. What this does is creates a more symmetric look. One where the watch is a little bit more vintage looking, in fact. To help with that, the bezel. The bezel is more flat, which together with the slightly increased size of the case, makes the case itself actually stand out. And it doesn't get wrapped around, let's say, the bracelet itself, but it stands on the bracelet in a much more proportionate, much more vintage way. I really like the combined feel and look of this watch. It wears on the wrist very easily. I think it feels smaller, perhaps. Could that be? It feels a little less chunkier than the previous one on the wrist. However, your mileage may vary. That perception has a lot to do with it. So maybe that's incorrect what I'm saying. But to me, it does feel slightly smaller than the previous one when wearing it on the wrist. The movement that they have newly adopted here on the sub is a caliber 32-35. This gives you a 70-hour power reserve. And as I mentioned before, this really would help you out if you were to be one of those guys like myself that sometimes take his watch off on the Friday evening, leaves it in the bedroom, and then, goes gardening or whatever else. And then on a Monday, picks the watch up and it's now working because of the power reserve. So that really does help. The accuracy should be, as usual, 1 plus or minus 2 seconds a day. I'm going to publish a video about this because accuracy of Rolex watches is sometimes quoted incorrectly, and I want to clarify my experience with this watch. But gents, there it is. I think the new movement, together with the absolutely improved proportion of this watch, make this an absolute buy. Let's have a look at that little gift you get from the ADs now. Look, nothing to write home about, but it is nice of them to say, look, I can't give you a discount, I'll leave you a little gift instead. It's a keychain, quite heavy, highly polished metal. Can't tell you what metal it is, but nothing precious for sure. Otherwise, they would have told me, right? But there it is. Yeah, thanks for the gift. And looks pretty, very chunky, very heavy. Probably won't use it, but I'll put it in my collection. Wrapping this thing up, I would say that Rolex here made small improvement, but important improvement with better proportion, much more refined look. Even though it's still a sporty watch, this I think is as refined as a Submariner can get. So if you can get your hands on it, go ahead and buy one. If you liked the video, hit the like button below. We'll see you in the next one.